Yes, that's right. This video will contain footage of me using the tactics and strategies of Aikido in live sparring. But first, before I show you that, I want to make something real clear to all you people who came here just to type in the comments, "Try that on an MMA fighter," or for those of you who came here just to scream, "Bullshido!" at the top of your lungs. Hey guys, I am not the guy to try this on an MMA fighter, or any professional athlete for that matter. I'm a 36-year-old with an arthritic hip, and I only get to practice this stuff a few hours a week at best. If I go against some kind of high-level athlete, they'll toss me around like I'm a child who's riding a perturbed wildebeest. Now, my point in demonstrating this stuff is not to show how awesome and powerful I am. If you want proof of that, just ask your girlfriend. The point of making this video is to start trying to move the training methods of Aikido into the next generation. Now, a lot of people have already tried this,
and they failed.
I mean, haven't we established that Aikido just isn't any good? And no amount of modifying it can make it useful? That one is wrong. Here's the problem. Most of the people trying to functionalize Aikido are trying to use it the wrong way. Further, a lot of them are going from a 0 to 100 with no in-between training. What do I mean by that? Well, they'll do the partner form exercises very statically with each other, and then they'll jump right into trying to spar with like a collegiate wrestler or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Obviously, that's not gonna work. So what do I mean by use Aikido the wrong way? Aren't all martial arts just used for fighting? That one is wrong. Guys, fighting can look like a lot of different things. Just think of this scenario. If you practice jousting on top of a horse and train to joust, that's a type of fighting. It's not going to transfer into wrestling if you're like, I'm a jouster, therefore I can jump into a wrestling match and beat people who wrestle all day. Well, obviously that's not going to work out very good for you. Likewise, if you take the wrestler and you put them on the horse and have them try to joust you, it probably won't work out very good for them. Come on, it's not that hard. What is the Aikido even for then? Well, it's not for fighting in the conventional sense, I'll tell you that. And that's the problem people keep running into. They keep trying to fight with something that's really not for fighting, at least in the way we think about it. Oh boy. That was my microphone that I fell on. Here's some of the things that I have found Aikido to be really good for. Number 1, staying autonomous. Number 2, weapon retention. Number 3, weapon disarming. Number 4, high mobility locks, throws, and pins. And yeah, some of these things might cross over into fighting, but most of them are more about avoiding violence and confrontation altogether. Here's an example of me sparring to help develop skill for each of these categories. Now, I've instructed my partner to resist me fully. And yes, I understand that my partner is not a college-level wrestler or BJJ black belt. So you can keep those comments to yourself.
You dingus.
In this example, my partner is trying to grab a hold of me and immobilize me. Now this could be so they can get a more secure hold and move into a grappling situation, or it could be so that their buddy can come along and jack me up. Either way, from the standpoint of avoiding violence, I want to break free, and break free in a way where it is difficult for them to re-engage. Here, I allow my partner to establish a grip on one of my arms so that I can practice freeing my weapon hand in the event that someone catches a hold of it. In this exercise, I work on taking a staff from my partner, and my partner works on preventing me from doing it. This exercise can also be practiced with a knife or any other type of weapon you want to play with. To help me practice locks, throws, and pins, I have my partner latch onto me as hard as he can. His goal is not to let go. This allows me to play with body dynamics that off-center him and lead him into one of the Aikido techniques. Now I know some of you are thinking, why doesn't he just let go? But if they let go, well, you don't need the next part of the technique. All you need is the part that makes them let go. This is also a safe way of practicing the locks, throws, and pins in a non-compliant way, and you can use these things on people even if they aren't as secure as some of the things that you would see in something like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But the advantage is you can move around, you have your mobility when you lock or pin them. These are just some of the ways you can practice sparring with Aikido so that it can be used inside the context it was designed to operate in. Notice that in none of these exercises did I try to wrist lock someone in a wrestling match or catch a boxer's punch and flip them with kotagaishi. I don't think that's what these techniques are for, and I think they work pretty darn good for these particular things. Now my thesis is they're going to work better for these particular things than any other toolbox out there that I've seen at least. So like, for example, if we take someone with a wrestling toolbox and we take someone with an Aikido toolbox, we give them equal athleticism and experience in the training, equal size, all things equalized, then the person with the Aikido toolbox will be better at these particular exercises than the person with the wrestling toolbox. Now, I can't prove that yet. It's just an idea I have. So settle down. We're exploring here. And I think this is some unexplored territory in the martial arts. We know what works really good in combat sports. That area is highly refined. But what about some of this other stuff? I think there's room for exploration there, and that is what I'm trying to do here. So get out of my comments with your typing about all the problems I had with my exercises. These are just a few examples. It's not the only thing we do. It's just some ways that you can add aliveness to your training. Some of you watch my videos and you're so lazy, you don't even push the thumbs up button. It's just one little tap and you're like,
I can't be bothered. I'm too diseased and a plague upon society.
push the button. Peace.